everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you are new. I hope you're all having a really good week so far. In today's video we're going to be carrying on with this free PDF from Rita Berman, so I'll go ahead and zoom you in and we'll get started. Okay, so the first colour that we're going to go in with is mint green, and I'm going to use this to start filling in this sort of background vase, and I want all of this background bit to be this colour, so I'm going to go ahead and use light pressure and fill this in, and I'm going to use I'm going to avoid these little dots on there because I want to do them a different colour. Next, taking rose pink, I'm going to make a start on the little dots on here. So I want them to be pink. So I'm going to go ahead and just use normal pressure and fill these in. And I'm going to use this colour to go ahead and fill in the tops and the bottoms as well. So again, I'll just use normal pressure for this. Then taking purple light, I'm going to use this to add some shadow in. So I'm going to add some shadow here from this other bowl. So just darken that up and then lift the pressure as you come towards the middle so that we get a nice blend and not a harsh line. And then for the top, I'm going to do the same. So I'll darken up this side and then just lift the pressure as you come across the middle. Next, going in with leaf green, I'm going to make a start on this bowl here. So I want them to be like sort of different coloured greens. So I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on this. I'm just going to use light pressure and add the first coat down. Then taking permanent green, I'm going to add some shadow to this. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and darken up this side here. So I'll just use normal pressure right on this edge and then lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. And I'll do the same for this bottom side as well. And for here. And I think we'll add a little bit of shade on this edge as well. So I'm going to darken that up and then lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. And we'll do the same for the top. Then I'm going to go back in with leaf green and go ahead and blend this together and just use a bit more pressure. Okay, and next going in with cadmium green 062. I'm going to darken up our shadows because that colour wasn't quite dark enough. So I'll do the same again, just more pressure at the edges and lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. And hopefully this one will stand out a bit better. So next, going back in with purple light, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little squares on this one so that it's got a bit of pink to match the one behind it. So I'll just use normal pressure and just fill these in. Okay, next going back in with rose pink, I'm going to make a start on the flower details on here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a coat of this on these flowers. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and go ahead and fill these in. And then we'll go in with purple light just to add a little bit of shadow to this. So I'm going to do the shadow on this side. So I'm just going to darken up this edge here. And I'm just using light pressure for this because this is quite a darker colour. We'll add a little bit to this one here. And a little bit to this one. Just on the top where it would be in a bit of a shadow. Then we'll use mint green to go ahead and fill in the little leaf details. I'm going to use purple light to fill in the center of these flowers as well. Next, taking lemon yellow light 001, we're going to make a start on the little flame here. So I'm going to go ahead and use this as like our base color. So I'm just going to use light pressure. I'm going to take it over the flame, and I'm also going to fill in the space around it so it looks like there is a glow coming off the flame. Then taking cadmium yellow light 004, which is a bit more of an orangey yellow, I'm going to start to add some darker colour into the flame. So I'm going to focus this inside the flame area. Then taking brilliant yellow 009, we're going to again add some more darker colour, but this time I'm just going to focus it right in the centre. So I'm just using normal pressure for this and just adding in a little bit more of this orangey tone. Okay, and that's not quite dark enough, so I'm going to try cadmium orange deep and just use light pressure this time. Add a little bit of orange in here, right by the wick. Then I'm going to go back in with lemon yellow light, and I'm just going to go ahead and darken up the glow around the outside edge, just so that's a little bit brighter. Going in with mint green, I'm going to do the candle green so that it matches the little pots. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in, and I'm just going to use normal pressure again for this. Then taking permanent green, I'm going to add some shades. So I'm just going to darken up the bottom line, because that would be furthest away from the light. And then I'll just lift the pressure as it comes up the candle. Next, taking cerulean blue middle 099, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on this stand for the kettle. So I thought this would look nice blue. So I'm just going to use light pressure and go ahead and fill this in, and then we can add in some shade detail after. So next, going in with sky blue 046, I'm going to add some shadow to this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is darken up inside here, like the inside part of the stand. So just use normal pressure and fill that in. And then I'm going to do the shadow coming from this way. So I'm going to go ahead and darken up this edge along here. And take it along the bottom here too. And then I'm going to start to lift the pressure so that we can blend that out. And the same up here. Then I'm going to add some shadow underneath this top line. And we'll take it down this edge as well. And then again, I'm just going to lift the pressure to go ahead and blend that out. And we'll add some shadow under here from the bowl. And then here I'm just going to lift the pressure so that we can blend it out. And then for this top piece, I'm going to add a shadow along the top edge where the kettle would be casting a shadow. And then again, just lift the pressure as you come down. So going back in with cerulean blue middle, I'm going to go ahead and just use normal pressure now and fill in the bottom piece of this top edge. And then here where we've got this blend line, I'm just going to go over that. So anywhere where I've put the darker colour, I'm just going over the blend line, just using normal pressure. Okay, and then here I'm going to lift the pressure, so I'm just going to add a little bit more colour. Then going in with our white pencil, I'm just going to go over where we left the lighter pressure just to really lighten up this middle section and blend everything together. Okay, going back in with rose pink, I'm going to make a start on the teapot. So I want the handle to be pink, so I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on the handle. So I'm just going to use light pressure and go ahead and fill this in. And I think we'll do the base in this colour as well. So I'll just use light pressure and fill in the base. And then we'll do this top section here around the little decorations. Okay, so going back in with our shade colour Purple Light, I'm going to add some shade to this. So I'm going to start by darkening up these edges. So I'm just going to use normal pressure right up against the edge. And then again, just lift the pressure as you come in towards the middle. Do the same for this side. I'm going to add some shade along the edge of the spout and then lift the pressure. And we'll add some along this edge here. And again, lift the pressure to blend it out. So for the handle, I'm going to darken up the very bottom pieces where it joins onto the kettle. And then lift the pressure as you come up. I think we'll add a little bit in the middle here as well, where it dips in. And then again, just lift the pressure to blend that out. So I'm going to go back in with rose pink and go ahead and blend this all together. So I'll just use normal pressure now. Go ahead and fill this all in. Okay, and then taking mint green, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on the details on top of the kettle. And I think we'll do the little top section as well. So I'm just using light pressure for this. Then taking teal green light, I'm going to make a start by adding some shadow into these little details. So for the front ones, I want to leave them lighter. And then for these ones at the back here where they're slightly overlapping, I'm just going to add a bit of shade right in the bottom sections. And then lift the pressure as you come towards the top edge. And then for this top section, I'm going to darken up the left-hand side. And then again, just lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. And I think we'll just add a little bit of shadow right on the bottom edge of these front ones. Okay, going back in with mint green, I'm going to go ahead and blend this all out. So I'll just use normal pressure now. Next, going back in with cerulean blue middle, I'm going to make a start on the utensils because I want them to be blue to match the base over here. So I'm just going to use light pressure and go ahead and do a base coat on these. Then taking sky blue, I'm going to add some shadow. So for this one, I'm going to shade along this edge. So just use normal pressure and then lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. So we'll do the same for this one. We'll darken up the right hand side. And then lift the pressure as you come in towards the middle. And again here. And then I'm going to lift the pressure for the middle section. Then going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and blend this together. Next, going in with yellow ochre light, I'm going to make a start on the bamboo. So I wanted this to be a little bit lighter, so I'm going to go ahead and use this as our base coat and do a nice base coat all over the bamboo. Then taking terracotta light, I'm going to add some shadow to this. So I'm going to darken up the bottom section first. So I'm just going to use normal pressure at the bottom here. And then lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. And I'm going to do this for each section. So just use normal pressure at the bottom and then lift the pressure as you come up. Then taking Naples yellow, I'm going to go ahead and go over where we left the lighter colour because I don't want this to get any darker. And go ahead and blend these together. So I'm just going to use normal pressure now and go ahead and fill this in completely. Then taking leaf green light, I'm going to do a base coat on these leaves here. So I'm just going to use light pressure and go ahead and fill in these leaves. And then taking leaf green, we're going to add some shadow to these. So for these big ones, I'm going to add some shadow at the bottom here and also at the top of the leaf so that we're just left with the light patch in the middle. And we'll do the same for all of these. Next, taking warm grey light, I'm going to make a start on the smoke here that's coming out from the kettle. So I'm just going to use light pressure and I'm going to go over the smoke lines. And we'll do the same down here. Then taking cobalt blue light, I'm going to add a little bit of a blue tone to the smoke. So what I'm going to do is just sort of focus this around the lines, just to make the lines look a little bit bluer. So I'm just using normal pressure for this. Next, taking lemon yellow light, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on the rest of the background. So here where we've got like this grey colour, I'm just going to take it right up to it. And I'm just using light pressure for this, so it should blend together nicely, because we don't want it to sort of stand out too much. Next, taking cadmium yellow light, I'm going to use this to add a bit of shade to the background. So I'm going to just add a little bit of a shadow here from this utensil. And I'm just using normal pressure underneath and then lifting the pressure off as you come down. We'll add a bit of shadow here too from this vase. So you can go ahead and fill in this bottom section here, because that's all going to be in shade. We'll add a little shadow behind here and one behind here. We'll add a shadow from the kettle and then lift the pressure as you come away. We'll add a shadow in here from this tree. And again, I'm just going to lift the pressure as you come away. I think we'll do a bit of a shadow on this side as well, just to make the tree stand out a little bit better. So again, I'll just do normal pressure up against the tree and then lift the pressure as you come away. Add a little bit of shade here and then lift the pressure again. And then I'm going to add a shadow in here as well, right around this edge. And again, lift the pressure. Okay, so now going in with our Posca pen, we're going to add some highlights. So the first thing that I want to do is go around the flame to make this look a little bit more realistic. So I'm just going to go around the black lines on the flame. We'll leave the wick black because it would be black anyway. We'll add a highlight to the middle of this bowl and one on the edge there. We'll do a little tiny dot of highlight on these bigger dots. And I'm going to add a little tiny highlight on a couple of these little decorative details. And we'll add one up here where we left the highlight, and in the handle. Do one on the spout as well. I don't know whether to go over the smoke with one or not. I don't know how it's going to look, so I might try on this one down here and see how it looks. So I'll just go over the black lines. Just make it look more like smoke. So I think I'm going to do the same for this top one as well. Okay, and that's it, you guys. That's how this little picture turned out. So I hope you enjoyed this colour along. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.